I was like dead tired, but these were like rubber at night, you know? And, but we made, pretty good money there. I mean, but it was really hard work, but we had fun.
That, are you saying that was you and ZB doing that?
Huh?
You and ZB both doing
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
How old were
He'd
you?
have one in, I'd have the other, you know, we,
Okay.
How old were you?
I don't know, 9, 10,
So would ZB initiate these?
Huh?
Would ZB say, do you wanna go down and, we can load potatoes, are you up for it? Do you
Oh.
remember how that?
He was the
Well,
mastermind
no,
anyway.
no, our dad told us where to go to do it.
Oh,
Yeah, and so we went down and sure enough, they said, yeah, come on, grab a bag and go to work.
So this was just one summer that you were visiting
Yeah.
your dad?
Uh-huh.
He was finding things for you to do?
This
here,
Yeah, yeah,
And this is before you went to California, of course.
yeah, yeah,
so yeah, if he's 9 years old.
Yeah.
yeah, and, then he,
9
like
years
I
old?
say, he,
Lifting potato sacks.
certain things that he was drawing out on the anvil, you know, to draw the steel out, he needs somebody to strike. They call them strikers, you know. So he made a little stool for me to stand on, and I'd take the hammer and this, like a sledgehammer, type with shorter handle. And he said, now, when I flop this thing out here, and I've seen him do it 100 times, he said, you hit where I hit. And when he hit it, you know, the red turns all kinds of colors when he hits. He said, you hit where I hit and pull it. So I'd draw that steel, it'd move out 1/4 inch every time I hit it, you know? And we just go right down and just keep drawing that out to whatever thickness he wanted. And then he'd trim it even, then he'd finish sharpening it, you know, to pull it down in a straight blade. And, so that's.
It's quite an art.
What was he, where were you making, can you remember?
Probably now.
Well, you could do it with plow points,
Oh,
or
right.
this, or sweeps, or whatever.
Right.
You trim it off first and get the, and then he would heat it and then pull it out.
So what about the wagon wheels? Was that your grandfather that was making wagon steel, the steel?
No,
wheel
that was
on
my
wagon?
dad,
Your dad did that too?
yeah.
Is that when he was still in Alabama or when in Mississippi?
Well, no, he wasn't blacksmithing in Alabama then.
Oh,
I didn't, he did that in Mississippi.
His grandpa taught him that, probably,
What?
or his dad, I mean.
What, no, wagon?
Your
Well,
dad taught him. Your grandfather probably too.
well, yeah, he learned that
Been
from,
pretty good.
Grandfather.
Nicholas Timmerman. He was a blacksmith before his dad.
Big carriers.
And William Wright was a blacksmith also.
so it's
The-
several generations.
Almost, well, anyone that had a farm usually had a blacksmith shop. So they all could-
Kind of out of necessity.
Was there a lot of blacksmithing on the Blackwood side too?
None that I know. Well, Uncle Jess, my Zion's brother, he had a blacksmith shop.
Oh.
But he just, you know, he had it for his own use. He didn't do it as a business.
Okay.
He did this for.
Everybody's
own
kind of
stuff.
did their own, just like you have a welding kit.
Right.
Black.
Nowadays, everybody's got a welder.
Yeah. And, but the most, one of the most fun things I remember doing as a kid with the DB was, once in a while, Uncle Jess, we called him Uncle Jess, would come up in a buggy, horse and buggy, had a, you know, the cover over, and, he'd pick us up and we'd go spend the weekend with him. And it was the ride from there, or our house, down to his house in that buggy that I remember. I can remember all the smells and, you know, we had to ford a creek and, you know, it was all dirt roads and it was just it had a blanket over, you know. And boy, it was was fun to us.
So you and ZB both hooked up?
Huh?
You and ZB both?
Oh, yeah, yeah, we were both. And then, his son, Virgil, would, take us fishing, usually, and, would set out the poles along the riverbank and go build a big fire and eat peanuts, and once in a while go checking to see if there's anything on the line.
So is that the Warrior River that you're talking about?
The Little Warrior.
The Little
yeah,
Warrior.
yeah. And there was no pesticides being used anywhere on that river,
Oh,
north of where we were. So
oh,
it was super clean
oh.
river, yeah. And the catfish in that river was really, really good. Yeah. Anyway, you've heard that 1,000 times too. But, it's what I consider, freedom being what I had growing up. I was absolutely free to do whatever I wanted to do, as long as it wasn't stealing, you know what I mean?
It wasn't against the law, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was, like, there was no restrictions at all, you know. So I could take take my rifle and go and spend the whole day doing anything I wanted to do with it. And,
On a weekend?
well, I never spent the night out when I was that age, but, that's what my grandmother would say, you just be home before it gets dark. So that's the only restriction I had.
Did you go out by yourself or with ZB? Both?
I normally go by myself because ZD didn't care for that too much. He liked to fish and do things like that. He didn't like to just wander
The
through
turning
the
of the wolves.
woods. Yeah, I got a big kick out of just being out there by myself. It was, to me, it was just a freedom that I felt.
Well, we still do some of that.
I was just gonna say, you've passed that along because you and Bill, and you've taken hikes by yourself, you like that. And we're all independent, we're all pretty comfortable being alone and spending time doing things by ourselves, so it's interesting.
Yeah, ZD didn't, we used to trap muskrats together, we'd do that.
And would you sell the hides?
Yeah. Quarter. That bought one box of 22 shorts. And, we possum hunt. You take a big bag of roasted peanuts and dogs, and you go down over the possum country, and you build a fire and sit around and wait till a dog treed one, you go shake him out, he puts him home, and put him in a bag, and he never moved. And, we'd take 3 or 4 home and skin them at $1/4 apiece. I know that sounds funny.
Now, his grandmother used to cook them.
Yeah, we never cooked one. My grandmother wouldn't let me.
No, she wouldn't let you cook frog.
No, no.
Now, his grandmother used to
Yeah,
cook
they
those
put them in a
things.
cage
Feed
and, put them in a cage and feed them out, he called them, give them, good and fat, and then they skin out, cook them.
Yeah.
Me either.
And bees,
Or skinny
that
one.
was another thing that was super, because he had a whole string of beehives that he made with just 2 boards, 4 boards, you know, with a cross piece in the middle and
Zion?
pieces on top, huh?
Zion?
Yeah. And, they would swarm and they'd light in under a grapevine or something, they're all together. And he would take he had a little platform, he'd sit it on there, put his new hive out there and tilt it back a little. And he would either cut the limb or shake it off so they fell down on this. And he had to rub the inside of it with peach tree leaves. And I don't ask me why, but they liked it. But, and they would all go in, that's their home. And, and then a day or two, he would slide a sheet under there, they pick it up and take it and put it in a row with the rest of them, and they start making honeycomb and top, working down. And, when it came time, he would take the lid off, and it had a case knife, crook like that. He'd cut down on one side and come across and cut it up on the other, and just lift that piece out, put it in the dish pan, and, it was just the nicest honey you've ever seen, and they're crawling all over. He's got a smoke thing, but it's just laying over here. They're making smoke, but they're not stinging. And I'm standing there watching, they're not stinging either.
His granddaddy
But,
and his uncle used to.
well, CB, if he was so scared of a bee, because if they stung him on the bottom of the foot, his eyes would swell again. You know, so
Mark.
he just stayed away.
I didn't know he was allergic to bees.
Yeah.
I take after your dad.
Really?
Mhm.
I don't remember that I don't remember.
I used to anyway, I don't know if I
Yeah.
still do.
But he'd have an old
Fine.
piece of, like a overall, you know, almost worn out, he'd wrap it like around the strings, and he'd light one in, and that thing would just sit there and smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, and once in a while, he might go like that, with a little smoke, back the other way, and the bees would move down, and he'd cut this thing.
Did he try to do it like early in the morning or when it was cooler, or does it matter?
I don't think it mattered.
Okay.
And his
I think
uncle-
it's your attitude
Yeah.
that matters when you're working with the bees.
And
It
his uncle-
seems like, because,
Yeah,
what, he didn't even have to smoke them out, he didn't scare them.
Yeah.
It was almost like what he was doing was in harmony
He's a bee whisperer.
with,
yeah, he
Yeah.
somehow or other, I don't know, but they had some kind of an understanding because they weren't stinging him.
Now,
They
his
were crawling
uncle,
on his hand.
his uncle that had bees he would get the bees and let the bees sting him in places where he had such bad arthritis.
Oh, I've heard.
Yeah.
There you go, Mark.
Yeah, there we go.
With your hand.
well, it numbs your nerves, huh? That's what happens, it must end up
have-
numbing the nerve.
When they would come down for water or something, and it wasn't that right, and he'd get them and let them sting.
They're right,
Either at the hive, yeah.
But there was no, you know, now, I mean,
That's like
acupuncture. A hive now has drawers that pull out,
Yeah.
you know,
Back then,
everything's set up
Yeah.
already. But there was nothing in this thing when it was sitting. They started their own kind of